Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, computer is back up and running. I did actually have to reinstall the latest Kden Live, just an FYI. That is one of the downsides of Linux Mint is it does not always have the latest software, and the older versions of Kden Live actually do not work very well. And so I did have to install that. And basically, you just go to the Kden Live's website, grab the PPA for the latest stable, and then just run a sudo apt upgrade Kden Live, and that works. So that is that part. All right. So hope everyone's doing all right. We have a few different news topics today. We are going to be looking at privacy first, and then we are going to go ahead and look at this Equifax issue, and then we are going to end talking about some basic business. So that's where we are going today. And hello, Joey. Hello, Mac. All right, so let's go ahead and just dive on into the privacy stuff. We just pulled out a few articles on this. So in our privacy, first, we have a little discrepancy. Who is correct on the census? Is it Facebook or is it the U.S. Census Bureau? Shall we ponder this question for a little while? Hello, Carbon Programmer. How's it going there? Hello, Demiano. Hello, KO26010. There we go. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. So, I mean, this is an interesting article because basically what's going on here is all these ad networks are trying to say how many people can they reach in their given scenarios, you know? How many people can they do? And so Facebook's coming down here and saying we have the potential to reach 41 million 18 to 24-year-olds here in the United States. The Census Bureau says, well, there's something funky about the number because there's only 31 million of them people here. And so we have these questions. Now, of course, there's another article. I decided not to cover it today, but Facebook actually released a report this week saying that over 1,000 different accounts were tied to Russian hackers that were basically buying a bunch of political ads during the campaign year. So yes, it was indeed the Russian hackers. They did indeed mess with it. But regardless, Facebook is saying that there are certainly like 10 million more people in this demographic than the Census Bureau exists. And I got news for you. Not everybody uses Facebook. Okay. I have an account, but I don't actually use it, which is kind of the thing. Question, do I look washed out on the camera? I don't know if I need to reset camera settings or I'm looking at this new monitor over here, and I'm thinking I'm going to take this monitor back because everything looks washed out. I can't tell if it's me or if it's you. No, I look good. Move it over to the other screen. Advantage of multiple monitors. All right. So yeah, this is just an interesting article. Of course, Facebook wants to be able to sell advertising and wants to be able to have top notch and, you know, would you buy an ad on Facebook if there's 41 million potential users in your demographic? Yeah, it's scary anyway. All right. Well, it looks like there's a bunch more folks coming on here. Carbon Programmer, what do I think of Fedora Linux? I really don't like it. The problem with Fedora is, now, and understand that I haven't used Fedora since they made it a lot easier to install codecs. It used to be a pain to get codecs to work, and really Fedora, you look up Fedora and it's like, here's a list of 25 things you need to do once you install Fedora. I don't got time for that. I use Linux Mint because I don't have to do 25 items when I install it to make sure the thing works. So if I had to use Fedora and I could use any Fedora type thing, I would use Kororo, which is basically, I call it a Fedora that works. Basically, Kororo took those 25 things and released a distro with those 25 things done. So I'm not otherwise a huge fan of Fedora. They do have a better philosophy, like a more free and open source philosophy than some other distros do, including the Ubuntu brand. But that's kind of my thought on Fedora. I mean, it's for a certain type of person. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Facebook is not private. No, it is not. Block the Facebook trackers to the host file. Yep, that's the way to do it. Oh, you know what? I have not installed my ad tracker host file on this computer yet. That's the one thing I haven't done yet. Totally keep forgetting about it. Good morning there, Philip Walters. UK, stand up. All right. Morning, Phillips passes hot cup of coffee. Hot cup of coffee. All right. All right. Host file is best way to block trackers. Yes, that is actually what I do. Is I block trackers with a host file. Let's see. Drinking a beer here, huh? Not over here. I'm not a drinker, but that's all good. Use Facebook. It doesn't matter what you do. You are still not private. You don't even have to use Facebook, and you're still not private if you're not blocking Facebook in your host file. They are building up ghost profiles on you based upon ad trackers and every site, including this one here. If there happens to be a Facebook link on it somewhere. Is there a Facebook link on this page anywhere? Yeah, there you go. Come on. I hate... Okay. Okay, stupid web developer. I want to get to the footer of this damn page. How am I possibly going to like the Facebook on this thing if I can't get into the footer to like it? Rudders, redo your website. UI, UX web developer here. Redo your website. I want to get to your Facebook link at the bottom of the page. I can't. You have a JavaScript thing that prevents me from ever getting down to the bottom. If there's a Facebook link somewhere on this thing, Facebook is tracking what you do. So that's kind of that. Or get one of the best ways to block trackers. Don't use Facebook. Yeah. All right. Try white balance. Is your shirt cyan? No, my shirt is gray. Here to talk about Equifax. All right, well, we are going to get to... We have 3 articles, and then we're going to hit an Equifax hard. Hey, Pseudo Linux, how's it going there? Getting new phones soon. Sweet. Use that. ISP decided not to work. They're like, you're talking about that privacy stuff again. We want to steal all that data. All right. Nope, we're back. All right, so if you remember this whole zombie cookie issue, well, no, it wasn't a zombie cookie. These aren't zombie cookies. These are basically a super cookie that Verizon attached to their phones. Well, you can't sue Verizon over this because of the binding arbitration, but it turns out that you can sue the ad company they were connecting to. So it looks like that's what's going to end up happening and maybe that's what we need to do is that we need to get in here and start suing everybody. And I'm not a sue happy person. I frankly think it's bad, but at some point in time, we got to stop and just be like, we got to stop and just like, I don't know. We'll get into that. All right. But anyway, this was a fun Verizon thing. And then of course, Microsoft news. Microsoft has a brand new Surface Colors being shipped out to markets around the world. And then of course, the extra piece of big news is that, as I predicted, they're pushing Windows 10s on everything, but they are extending the period of time you can upgrade to Windows 10 Pro for free until March 31st, 2018. So we've added one more quarter that you can now upgrade from Windows 10s to Windows Pro. But I said it. They started by pushing the crappy Windows 10. Now they're pushing the completely, totally locked walled garden Windows, which, by the way, you cannot even change the host file in that locked Windows. And so, you got a lot of those issues going on in there, and that's certainly is a challenge. Well, let's go ahead and have a look at some comments here, because I want to do that before we jump over into our main topic of the day. Infinite footers. Yeah, like, and the funny thing is that this site, I wonder if they're sitting back going, well, we just can't figure out why people aren't finding us on Facebook. Because I can't get to your Facebook. You have an infinite scroller, and the only place your Facebook link is in the footer. Think much? UI, UX people, right? You can use no script for blocking trackers. Yeah, I prefer to do it on a host file, though. It tends to block other things, too. What kind of crazy OPSEC are they trying to use to evade such a huge system? Looks like I'm wearing cyan. Huh. I mean, if you want, I can be wearing blue. Of course, I have another light up above me, so if I turn that main light off, I could actually be blue. Hold on. Let me do that. Yeah, there you go. How's that look? Is that pretty cool? I'm glowing in the background. It's actually kind of neat. I might keep it like that for a little bit. Let me know how that looks, by the way. See if that's interesting. I might look like a Smurf. That's all right. Usually have the Smurf mode going. Use ghostery ads to block all mine. Refresh 3 times. Well, yeah. All right. Let's see. It looks like, yeah. Okay. Hey, Anarita. How's it going there? Yeah, it was me. My internet decided to die out on me, so. Neutrality. Hello, try white balance. Yeah. Logjam the courts with frivolous lawsuits. No, the thing is that I don't want to talk about logjamming the courts with frivolous lawsuits. What I'm talking about is, at what point in time do we get these companies to stop forcing us into binding arbitration? Well, if we got to go for their third parties, then maybe they'll be a little bit less inclined to give us these forced arbitration. Or maybe they're just like, whatever. Third parties either way. So, use BleachBit to clean out all the cookies. Yeah, if you do have super cookie issues, like zombie cookie issues, BleachBit will do that. Or CCleaner on a PC. Does seem like the camera white balance is off. Yeah, I'll have to look around at that. I am running a new version of OBS was released since I reinstalled the computer, and so that's it. Microsoft defends criminals. Yeah. Going to get custom-built PCs, Linux laptops to avoid Windows 10s. Yep. Windows 10s equals iOS. Yep. Linux rules. Who cares about Microsoft? Yep. MX16 rules. I like that. See people switching to Linux because of Windows 10. In fact, the number of people using Linux is actually on the rise, but it's actually not Windows suffering as much as it is the Mac numbers. Mac numbers are suffering, and Linux is actually on the rise if you look at OS browser stats. Looks like you're in a Linux covert OPs. Same time, I can't see it happening. Most people I know just want convenience over freedom. Yes. I left Windows for Linux 3 months ago. Yep. Awesome. Very good. I was wondering, what is the return policy for the SSD? They have a 3-year warranty, so I have not contacted them back yet, but I will be doing so soon. Okay, let's see. Even though I haven't got a new computer, I decided to install Arch Linux with KDE as a head start to be prepared. Yep. Feed third parties false information about you. Yeah, that's kind of the best thing you can do. All right, let's go ahead and get into the main story for the day. So we're going to switch back to, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my full lighting. There we are. Whoa, that was bright. All right. So we're going to be talking here about Equifax. So if you are living under a cave, or you're not in the United States, so you don't really care, although a small amount of UK people were affected, Equifax had a breach of 143 million records. Now, of course, the Yahoo breaches were way bigger in numbers and scope. It's not nearly as, it wasn't nearly as significant.
Hi, everybody. Don't use Equifax. They're jerks.
But basically, the problem with Equifax is that they have everything about you, and there's no way to opt out. There's no way. I mean, and that's the danger of where we are right now, is that we have all of these companies, has all of this information about us, and there is nothing we have the capability of doing about it. And this is why we need a lot stronger laws. We need to have laws that have absolute, written on paper, certified mail, absolute opt-in to collect any amount of data on us unless we are directly doing business with those companies. Okay, take my case. I do not want to have the ability to check my credit score. Okay, I don't borrow money. And yeah, there's things like car insurance and renting apartments and things like that, but the reality is you can do those things without a credit score. I want the ability to say no company may have any data about me except only that exactly amount of data required for a first party only company to do business with me. That is it. Okay, if I want to order something from Amazon, they need to know where to ship it. I get that. But what Facebook's doing, where you go ahead and give them the type of information you want to give them, and then they're just going to go in and go to companies like Equifax and fill in the profiles. What does Facebook need to know my last 50 previous physical addresses for? They don't. They don't. And that's why I think that it should be completely illegal for any company to buy and sell any data about me. Here's a fun tip. You want to buy and sell my data? I get a 10% cut of every dollar transferred with my data. How would that be cool? You want to buy and sell my data? Pay me for it. Pay me for it. And if you are caught not securing my data properly, you should just go to business. Yeah, you're done. You're done. We do not need any more of these companies running around. And I got news for you. Equifax is a jerk company. They've been a jerk company for a long time. Now, if you're in the United States and you are over 18, you should go to annualcreditreport.com and get your credit reports. Because you are legally entitled to have one credit report from each of the three big companies, which are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You should get that every year. However, there's a fun little caveat. I have not been able to get an Equifax credit report from annualcreditreport.com for a long time. 5 years maybe. They've wanted to do like, and every time you go, they're like, oh, you need to come over here. And then they're trying to upsell, oh, just for $1 we'll get it. But then they want to try and get, I actually literally successfully fought off Equifax with a suit before because they attempted to auto bill me. I didn't give them a credit card number. That's how much data these people have. They are a junk company. They are bullies. They are crap. And they should close down. We don't need 3 of them. We don't need 1 of them. They should just close down. Be done with them. That's my thought. So basically, what happened? Well, there was this big data breach. 100. Now, this guy here is their article. Let me actually find one that actually had more information. So this is from Ars Technica. Why is this the worst leak of personal info ever? Well, because, see, in Yahoo, they just, stole your email address and maybe your password. With this one, 143 million people, mostly United States, but a few UK people. Full names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, driver's license numbers, information, basically banking information, all of your credit history, everything. Hackers got all that. That's a staggering amount of data. And, of course, what do they want to do? Oh, here, we're going to give you a year of identity theft protection. But we'll get into that in a minute. Now, they also, by the way, this hack happened in July 29th. 2 days later, 3 of their corporate execs sold a lot of stock before this was released. That raises a few eyebrows. Definitely raises a few eyebrows. And then they put up this site, EquifaxSecurity2017.com, which is an unsecured WordPress website. Oh, God. That was very amateurs put up. was it Cloudflare, I think, blocked this from CDN networks because it appeared to be a phishing website. The SSL was not owned by the company. This is so amateurish that fortunately a group of people already got together and established a class action lawsuit against them. So there is now this class action lawsuit. Of course, the problem is, the lawyers are going to make their millions of dollars. Each person is going to, hey, here's your $20 to reimburse you for 1 year of identity theft protection. No, you know what? I should be able to go out and get any identity insurance that I want, and Equifax should have to pay that for the next lifetime. Because this data does not expire. You steal my credit card number, I can dump a credit card and get a new bank account. You steal all this information, I cannot create a new person. Well, at least not legally, really. And that's the danger of this. This company, and it was demonstrated that the reason this breach happened is because they did not properly update their software. So they had all of this information about me, a person they have never done business with, all online, scrimping the dollars so their corporate executives could have another jet. At what point in time are we just going to put these jerks out of business? Find them into oblivion and take every corporate officer and throw them in jail for a while. That's how we want to clean up corporate America. Okay, and I'm not against business. I'm just against it when it gets so big that this stuff happens and nobody bats an eye. A poor IT guy will probably get fired for this, but the corporate exec's just going to be living on high on the hog. So, of course, this is the article here talking about the three managers. They sold they sold some stock before before the announcement. So now they're like, oh, we didn't know anything about this. So the intrusion was discovered by the company July 29th. August 1st shows a sale of $943,000 worth. Actually, I mean, that was just one guy. Another guy, 500. Another guy. So this is what, about $1.7 million of stock was sold by corporate execs of this company prior to the announcement, which, by the way, would hurt the stock shares. So this raised some eyebrows because none of these are listed as being part of any scheduled transfer trading programs, which basically means, now, usually, I mean, it's not unusual for companies to buy and sell amounts of stock like this, but they are generally declared as part of a routine scheduled trading plan. These weren't. Not at all. So that makes it look very suspicious. I think these three managers, I think it's really about time to hold these guys accountable. So let's go ahead and send these guys on unpaid administrative leaves and freeze their assets for a while we do a full investigation. Maybe why don't we do that just until or let's just go ahead and give them access to all their bank accounts to hackers or something somewhere. That'd be cool, So what do you do? So this article from Ars Technica was pretty good. What do you do? But there's some disagreement I'm going to do. First is enroll in this free thing. So basically they want to give you this Trusted ID Premier service. Now there was a little bit of a discrepancy here, and I'm going to clarify and I'm going to stop in spreading the misinformation. There was a little bit today. It looked like enrolling in this eliminated your ability to file a lawsuit against the company. They said that is not the case. They came out, they've said that's not the case. But still, by using this service, you are agreeing to a binding arbitration. So no, I would not recommend this. Go get some other service or whatever if you want to, and then sue them for the cost of reimbursement, because the one they're giving you is a binding arbitration attached to it, and you should not do business with a binding arbitration. So that's number one, but don't do that. You'll get a free copy of your Equifax credit report. You should get a free copy anyway. It's called annualcreditreport.com. It is a law that each of the three major credit reporting companies, Equifax being one of them, is mandated by law to give you a free copy of your credit report every year. Okay. Oh, a year of credit monitoring. Too bad only 1 in 10 credit card companies actually check your credit prior to doing anything. Oh, internet scanning for your SSN to see if it pops up on websites. Oh, thank you. Like, I'm going to trust some third party with my social security number for you to do a botnet scan of the internet. Thank you. You'll be a lot better on Torch on Tor looking at the onion sites yourself. Just type the number in, see if it pops up. Ooh, the ability to freeze or unfreeze your credit report for 1 year for free. But I have a funny theory. With how scummy this company is, I would not be surprised if this is just yet another plan. How can we make lemonade out of this lemon? Oh, I got a great idea. Let's do this and just have it auto-renew for them. So this is where they're correcting it, that this is not an attempt to suppress people. Number 2, get all the reports. You do want to go and, if you have not done it in the last year, go to annualcreditreport.com, get your free credit reports from all of them, except you will probably only get it from 2 of them, because I went on to get it from Equifax, from Annual Credit Report today. I get there and guess what I get greeted with? Connection is untrusted. Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and click that security alert. Yeah, no. And so I did not get one from Equifax, the one company I wanted it from. I did successfully get it from the other 2. Ooh, a security freeze. You should do a security freeze. The problem is it will cost you between $10 and $15 per credit agency, and an additional $30 to freeze and unfreeze it if you actually happen to need anything on your credit report. But the reality is, because this is part of a leak, you can probably sue the company back for these losses, even if you do not choose to engage in their particular thing. File your taxes early. Yeah, I really can't file them any earlier right now. Of course, because this is going to be one of the things. There are people going to be attempting to file taxes with my number now because of this data breach. Probably. And, yeah, what else? And then, of course, beware of scammers. Yeah, we always talking about being aware of scammers. So that is kind of Equifax. Let's go ahead and check in on the comments, see what you guys are saying here. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Set my host file again, since this isn't my main PC. Didn't block Facebook yet. Inconvenience of Linux is not being able to use presentation programs that require Adobe Flash. Just wait another year. Adobe Flash is being put out of its misery, so it'll be fine. Simple script. Go wget and update the host file. Yeah, there's another one that does that as well. Somebody sent me. There's already one up there that will auto-update, which is pretty cool. I do not need to switch people to Linux, as Windows 10 is doing that for me. Yeah, well, I mean, it helps if we encourage it, helps we encourage it. Jew Seister, lawyer, and sue. Alright, apparently since Proton Mail is based in Switzerland, they are not allowed to collect data, even though it was their plan. I wish the world was more like Switzerland. Yep. Adobe Flash was taken advantage of by marketing research companies to install cookies that are hard to remove on the computer. That is correct. And that is what gives rise to what are called super cookies and zombie cookies. So what happens is a website cookie can only store 1 kilobyte of data, but a macro flash cookie can store 100 kilobytes of data. And so what happens is if you enable Adobe Flash, or any type of Flash really, on your browser, at all times, then a website that is trying to store these cookies, they'll take the cookie, throw it into the Flash browser, and then that can communicate with any other browser, and so it will restore those cookies not on the original browser, but on any browser you open up that also has a connection to Flash. And so what you want to do is running BleachBit will get rid of those. CCleaner on a PC will get rid of those. And there's also... there is also an add-on, I talked about it before, I can't remember what it is called now. I think it's called Better Privacy, that will actually remove macro cookies. So that's how you get rid of super cookies and zombie cookies. You gotta get rid of them on that level. CEO needs to get life in prison without parole. Yeah, there we go. Switch to Europe much. Ow, sorry. I get passionate about some of this stuff. Well, I almost always use cash. Yep. Yep. Best they can track you with cash is to track where's George been, you know? I don't swear often, but I feel I had to this time. Hey, Techno Bismo, how's it going there? Make cash great again. There you go. Absolutely. Companies are trying now to track you in real life with facial recognition systems, GPS, and IoT. Yep. That's why I am leery of all of it. Equifax is here in Canada, too. Yep. Equifax breach is going to be a boon to cybercurrencies. Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, is that we need to get this to the point to where, like, I want to see from this, I think I'm going to write a letter to every lawmaker. Like, guys, this is why I want a mandatory opt-in. Like, right now, make it a law. Every company has to scrub every bit of data against a person unless they have opt-in or they're doing direct business with that person. None of this third-party crap. Close all the third-party businesses down. I'm okay with that. Like, then that will actually hurt the economy a little bit if all these third-party businesses close down. But the reality is most of these third-party businesses is one or two guys that are very unscrupulous because nobody knows who they are. They sit in the background and they buy and sell your user data with no relationship with you. And, well, you've technically consented, and that's why you need to read your terms and conditions. And be very leery about the things that you use. Give you identity fraud protection, but they sell your data. Yeah. That's it. Fire. Yeah, I gotta go find my fire stick again. My boomstick. Dump them on an island. Most of that info will just be sold on the darknet to spammers and fraudsters, and more people are going to get ripped off. Yep. That's it. And that's the danger. It's just getting so bad. And the internet lasts for maybe we do just need a global EMP. Let's just reset the entire grid. Sorry, Pseudo Linux. It's all right, Tech Bismo. You might have missed the loud rant, but it was loud. I apologize. Breach occurred over 3 months. It took them a month to tell people. Yep, that's right. Yeah, and if you get used to watching my videos, you kind of know when I'm going to go, you know, get it all fired up and excited. So, got to watch that. Yeah, you will know not to trust Equifax, but there's nothing you can do about it. The only service, like, Equifax was one of the ones that started trying to sell you these credit things. Like, do you remember these commercials? Oh, they made me want to vomit every time I saw them. But what was going on is, you know, some guy would go in and he'd be like, yes, I know what my credit score is, so I know I'm going to get a good deal. And I want the plant in the corner. I don't care. And then you see the guy probably walk out with a plant. I got a great deal on my car loan. No, you idiot. You financed a car. Duh. But you know, Equifax was trying to sell these credit things. Take control of your credit. It's like you know, that's like getting an app to monitor your checking accounts. You know what's in there. Insider trading, yeah, and I hope that these guys get prosecuted for insider trading. Absolutely. I have been deceptified. Always use Linux systems to help avoid marketers. Huh? Pseudo Linux. My mother told me when I was a teenager, no one gives you free stuff, and if they do, there is a catch. Yep, absolutely, and that is very true. Old saying, there is no free lunch. Yes. It's wrong because Pseudo Linux has given me lots of free stuff. Yeah, I mean, in reality, Tech Bismo, Pseudo Linux, that Raspberry Pi he gave you, that was an IoT spying device. Yep, he programmed it to be funny. Yep. Step 5, beware of us, yes. Hey, Fatal, how's it going there? Is that on your cooking channel? Is what on my cooking channel? Which, by the way, I've not posted any videos because I went to do 4 different videos on the cooking channel, and I'm missing footage for all of them, and I've not had the time to get back in there and record the missing footage. I'll try and do that soon. Who used Linux Mint? I use Linux Mint. Yep, we got a few folks. What do you think about Linux Mint? Linux Mint is absolutely awesome. Actually, that's why I use it for my production systems, is because it works as well as it does. So the one, you can't see it because it's behind the comments right now, but the computer behind me is also Linux Mint. That's Linux Mint KDE. But I run Linux Mint Cinnamon on my 2 major production machines. I really like it. It works out of the box. Very little configuration you need to do with it, and they have, of course, the trade-off is there's more proprietary stuff in there than some other distros have, but it depends on what you want to do. But overall, I would highly recommend Linux Mint. It's, for me, the top recommended distro. Behind that, I like Ubuntu Mate. Some of the other ones I've been looking at lately, just look at my brief reviews to see some of those. All right. Money talks, and I doubt anyone will get any serious punishment for this. Yep, that's right. Don't think any of you have ever heard of newrelic.com. They are all trackers. No, but I'm pretty sure they're blocked by my host file thing. I'm still waiting for my target credit monitoring. Never got it. They lied. Adobe TDM is tracking, run by Adobe. Yep. Amazon has its own tracking domains. Yep. You are so soon switching to Plasma Mobile or Android without OpenJAPs. Eventually, I'm moving there. I'm thinking that my iPhone is probably on its last couple limbs. I keep on having a lot of interesting little problems where calls are... I usually have to make a call twice before it'll connect, and I'm still not getting real good service with it. So it's either the network's getting screwy or the phone's getting screwy, one of the two. Verizon keeps insisting my phone is screwy, but I'm not exactly going to shell out another money for another iPhone right now. So some of these companies even have deceptive names. That is correct. Joe Johnson, send my condolences to Microsoft. I'm happily converted to Linux. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at the next articles. Are all businessy relatedies. I'm just going to go ahead and use my corporatocracy again because corporatocracy is exciting. All right, so this is neat. If you now switch to a T-Mobile, want a family plan with 2 or more lines, you will get some free Netflix on us. No, thank you. I don't really want Netflix to track what I'm doing or watching. No. I'm happy with free services, thank you. I don't need Netflix. I don't care if someone else pays the bill or not. But, if Netflix is your thing and you're looking for a reason to switch to T-Mobile, there you go. They're giving out Netflix if you have 2 or more lines on a family plan. So, there you go. Next big news this week was there was some stuff down on this Lenovo thing. If you don't remember, from, was it 2014 to 2015, Lenovo was selling laptops, Windows laptops, of course. So those of us running Linux, haha, we're saved. But they had inside their Windows software that came within the Lenovo computers, and it was specifically a few brands of laptops. Then what would happen is they had an ad injector, and it would intercept everything. It would even decrypt your HTTPS secure data, add its own junk, and then re-encrypt it and send it back. And it was the same encryption key on every single computer and every single device. And so a hacker could have very easily gotten there and used that as a man-in-the-middle attack on anything. But basically, this thing was a man-in-the-middle advertising tracker. It would collect your data, even your encrypted secure data, and it would basically use it to push ads. So the FTC came down and said, oh, no, this isn't some federal thing. You guys don't do that again. 32 states did end up suing them for probably a grand total of 0.1% of their profit in those states. It was just a couple $1 million divided over 32 states for this. And us as people, oh, sorry, you should have read the terms and service. Because the first time you booted up the computer, you had the option to see the ads or not, and it would still collect your data, it just wouldn't show you the ads, so you'd completely forget about it. So basically, Lenovo comes in and they're like, we're not using this anymore, but I'm still thinking if I ever want to trust Lenovo. Although, I do have a Lenovo. This is behind me is a Lenovo computer. Of course, it's running Linux. So. And when this bug first came out, I double-checked mine, and it was not. But basically, yeah, they were installing spyware on your computer without your consent. So I really think that Lenovo should simply be guilty of several million felony charges for felony computer wiretapping. That's what I think should happen. And that's one of those things. I was talking to a friend about that over lunch today. But the biggest challenge we have to companies and the way we deal with that little thing there called corporatocracy, the way we deal with that is we have to institute two things in our country, in our legal system. The first is we have to separate what is an accident and what is an intentional act. And it's not all that difficult to figure out. Because what we need to do is if a person, like in the analogy I used is, I live in this subdivision. There's a lot of kids around here playing around. And, one of them accidentally left his bike out behind my car. And if I had run that over, it probably would have done some damage to the car and the bike. So fortunately, I saw it before I moved. But suppose the kids are out there and they're just being kids and they're playing baseball and they, swing the ball and hit my car with a baseball. It's an accident. Legally, the kid, or more likely legally, the parent is responsible to pay for the window in my car. No big deal. Okay? No big deal. And so, that's one thing. But suppose that kid takes the baseball bat, maliciously walks into my car, and starts pounding in the window. Well, he's still liable for the exact same amount. You see, if we go back to the biblical view, the accidental damage requires you to pay for the price of the damage. And that's what our legal system does. But our legal system fails at identifying that there are oftentimes, in our increasingly crazy world, malicious intent. In the Bible, if malicious intent were involved in the damage, the penalty was 3 times as much. And that's one of the things we need to do. If a company is held liable, it's like if you watch my news on last Friday, I think it was, where we talked about the scammer. This scamming, a legitimately tech scamming company, injecting ads with malicious JavaScript to force you to call them, raked in $120 million, their penalty, so they didn't hurt their livelihood. They only had to pay back $10 million of the $120 million that they illegally stole. So we didn't hurt their livelihood. No, it was a malicious intent. If that company said, you know what? You guys did this maliciously. You collected $120 million. You're paying $360 million back, 3 times more than you collected because of your malicious intent. Companies would stop doing malicious intent. Shocking. The second thing that needs to happen in our legal system is that only in the 70s, only as early as the 70s, is when companies really started to have the same constitutional rights as a person. If you go back and you look, and the first things that happened to challenge these laws were actually the free speech laws surrounding Hollywood entertainment. And what would end up happening is some Hollywood deviant would produce some vile show, and states would be like, we don't want that shown here, and they'd try and sue the companies for, basically it was literally suing them for what they would call as lewd conduct. And the companies would come back and they were trying to sue and say, we have freedom of speech. Well, up until the 70s, every one of those lawsuits was said, no, businesses don't have freedom of speech. The constitutional rights protect the citizens, not the businesses. But around the 70s, the first few cases happened where businesses were granted the same constitutional rights as citizens. But here's the problem, is with rights come responsibilities. With rights come responsibilities. Okay? And companies now have all of the rights we have according to the Constitution. But we have zero. The companies, though, have zero of the responsibility. That's what needs to change. We want to say, you guys want rights? Fine. You also have responsibility. Who is the culpable actions? The people in the head of the companies. Because if you start hauling people to jail for breaking the law intentionally, corporate America will clean itself up. Shocking. And this isn't an anti-company. This is a company because the companies know this. They know if they break the law, there is only about a 1 to 10% chance they will get caught. And if they are caught, there is only a 10% fine to what they did. And so what happens is they can make $1 million by breaking the law and have a 10% chance of paying $100,000 back, or maybe $10,000, whatever 10% of that is. That lends itself to a situation by which they will want to break the law because nobody's legally liable. The damages are so small. The percentage of getting caught is so small. But if we triple the damages for malicious intent and hold people legally responsible because they're the head of the company, that is going to clean up America. What's wrong with that? That's what we need to do. And so this is Lenovo. They initially, they intentionally put this thing in here that act as a man in the middle. If I sold you a computer, if I happen to buy and sell computers and I built a computer and I put a piece of software on there that would phone home and tell me every bit of thing that you're doing, I would be arrested. I would be arrested for wiretapping. Lenovo did that on millions of computers. Why do we not see a million charges of wiretapping being pressed against this company? Contradiction much? That's it. Let's go ahead and have a look at some comments. I see the comments are going pretty wild there. T-Mobile sucks, constantly disconnect you. Yeah, I have a friend with T-Mobile, says that a lot. Had problems with iOS, honestly. Never liked iOS. You should look at Lineage OS. Revived fork for Cyanogen mod. Huh. Lenovo has a history of being unscrupulous. Yep. Haven't used Windows in 2 years. Okay, I bet KDE Mobile would be fine. A little buggy, though. They're all buggy. All of the phones, all of the Linux phones right now are buggy. I'm soon deleting my Hulu profile. See, you can get a lot of Hulu stuff for free on view.yahoo.com. That's what I do. I have a Lenovo X220 because it's the only laptop I can find that runs cubes. Huh, why? My Dell runs cubes. Lenovo has rootkits embedded into the motherboards. Huh, wouldn't be surprised. There's a point where Lenovo would replace certain Windows components with their own version. Yep. Tried different distros. My problem is my Toshiba laptop would run high. Tried MX16, worked, except I'm not a fan of the flat look. You should be able to change the look, though. Going to avoid Lenovo, Hewlett-Packard, Futishi, I don't know how to pronounce Fujiti, I don't know, Fuji, whatever, and Dell, like the plague. And never using Lenovo, stick with Dell Latitudes. I like my Dells, generally. Remember the rough malvertising attack? Which one? Which one? There's a malware attack every week. Couldn't accept the wise guy bullcrap and lies from the Manjaro developers. Okay. So apparently they're not scrupulous over at Manjaro. I don't know. What is annoying with Manjaro is the rolling updates. That's the reason I don't run rolling updates, is because they could very possibly push something that breaks your system, and I don't have time for that. And that's for me the thing that one of the reasons I like running Linux Mint is I don't have to deal with the rolling release stuff. So, and that was the biggest problem with Fedora. I had a good Fedora going on VirtualBox. The thing updated because it's a rolling release, and it killed all my guest editions for VirtualBox, and it's just like, oh, I'm done with Fedora, because it did that on everything. Microsoft already tracks what all users of Windows 10 are doing on their machines. Yep. Yeah, same thing. Don't forget that thumbs up. Yeah, hey, thanks. All right. Next in line, this is an exciting one. YouTube MP3 sales with RIAA site will shut down. So basically, this was a service. You could input a YouTube video, and it would spit out an MP3. Oh, it's hurting us. Yeah, I have ways around that too. Maybe I'll just do a video on how you can record a YouTube video to an MP3. Ooh, I might get sued by them too. Ooh. Basically, this company shut their site down because they decided that they were going to be scrupulous. But here's the thing, what if I just want to grab something? I don't know. I mean, there's legitimate reasons for something like this. What if you just want to put this in and get an MP3 copy of what I'm doing here? That's a usable thing. Maybe not on this channel, but on my Christian channel, for sure, someone might want to do that. In fact, that's kind of in my plan eventually, is to start releasing those as MP3 podcasts as well, because I think that some people might like the podcast versions of what I'm doing over there rather than just the YouTube versions. Oh, and then this one's an exciting one here. So the House passes a legislation paving the way for self-driving cars. Basically, we're like, we need better laws to get these self-driving cars on the road faster. We're going to remove roadblocks to self-driving cars. Oh, I pity this country. No, we do not need to get self-driving cars on the market faster. We have people like Experian leaking all of our data. We have hackers that can access and shut down the cars while they're driving on the interstate at 75 miles an hour. For crying out loud, we do not need to get these cars on the market faster. We need to slow down getting self-driving cars on the road so we can address the legitimate concerns that come along with these. But apparently it was a unanimous passing of H.R. 3388, probably because someone was paid some money by the tech industry, is my thoughts, so that they can test these self-driving cars even faster. Oh, God. No, we don't need self-driving cars on the road faster. This is not going to be safer. This is going to be safer until some of the hackers get involved in all this junk. Wow, folks. Wow. So this is kind of dangerous stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and have a look at comments. What Dell do you use for cubes? I'm running. This is an Inspiron 15-7000 series. It's what I use for cubes right now. And I don't boot it into cubes all the time. I have one of my production cubes is actually a USB drive. It can boot off of this computer and it can boot off of that Dell. So that's the one that I'm running it on just fine. It's a Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM. You find a Skype alternative yet? I hate Skype since July 1. They will kill the apps with the rainbows. I have not found a specific replacement yet. It's just something it's on my target to do. I simply haven't had time. Roughtee.com. No, that one's not familiar to me. I like the Firefox extension, video download helper. Yep. Add it to my phone and watch on the go. Cool. That's good. VLC. Cough, cough, MP3. Yeah. A program for downloading YouTube videos called YouTube DL. I actually think I have that because I grabbed some clips for some of the other things that I do from time to time. So I have that installed on one of my ones. Self-driving cars will hack them like hot cupcakes. That's the problem. That's the problem, is that we have legitimate concerns for keeping them off the road. And that's really what... It's sad that it takes tragedy for these people to realize it, but in reality, they passed it because there was a big lobbying effort going on with it, you know? Will they target Linux users next? Well, it depends what they're targeting. For a minute, it sounds like you said Roblox instead of roadblocks. Robolocks. There you go. Robolocks. Kit can show you how good he drives us. Yes. Knight Rider reference. I do remember that. Or Christine. Eek. Christine much? Self-driving cars like the one that crashed in the gasoline tanker truck in Florida. Yeah, like that one. Yep. Okay, it's hard to do because the source code is available to anyone who can have the source code. Who would even use a website to convert files anyway? Yeah. Skype replacement, you should try Telegram. Great service, although you need to set it up with a phone number. No doubt RIAA and MPAA, as well as other industries, hate the open source community. Oh, they hate us all with a passion. But you know what? We hate them just as much, so it's all good. All right, I guess just final note. If you haven't been watching, the cooking channel is just being very slow right now. I'm even toying with not even really continuing it on a serious effort. Maybe throw things up when I get the time. But the Christian channel is really jumping out right now. So I am doing very in-depth Bible studies. If you haven't seen the Bible studies over here, I'm doing extremely in-depth Bible studies. Once a week. I'm posting these up on Wednesday. So these are Bible studies. I actually extracted them. I've extracted them out of a foundational theology book to do Bible studies with a high school kid. And so we actually do these Bible studies every week during the school year, so that there's 4 books, 4 years of high school. So by the time he's done with high school, he will have been through an entire systematic theology course. So I'm actually, since I already have the notes for them, I'm actually just placing those into here. And then I'm getting back to the into the daily walks. That's actually why I bought the camera, which I did post the first video today with the new camera. I don't like the audio of the camera. I got to work on that. And you can see it's pretty fisheye. The lens is more fisheye than I would like. And I thought the quality was higher than this. I'm going to have to look at the quality. But if you do want to have a look at the Christian channel over here, then you can come over here and have a look at that. But I will be trying to post the Bible studies, in-depth Bible studies are going up on Wednesdays. The other ones are going up. And there's actually, there's 28 of these daily walks. So there's actually a lot of content over on that channel. And then I'll be doing other things on that channel as well. I'm just trying to get back into that. So I'll go ahead and post the link to this channel for those interested in that. And so you can go ahead and take a look at what's going on over there. Also, I'm going to be changing the schedule around a little bit. My Sundays are going to be full of, they're basically going to be taken up with some other things. And so I'm going to move the tinfoil hat times. I'm just not sure when I'm going to do those. So I'm going to try and do a pre-recorded video for Sundays. And I think that's starting this Sunday. So there will not be a tinfoil hat time this Sunday. But keep an eye out for when that change is going to be. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll do them on Monday and switch my top 5 to Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Open to suggestions. Let me know. Let's see. Okay. Use YouTube video and audio downloader. That works. Cool. Hey, my friends. Greeting from Texas. Hey, greetings from Texas. I hope that you are not terribly underwater. Create podcasts on a Christian channel. As I tend to clean the house, we'll listen to podcasts. Yeah, I will get on that as quick as I can, actually. I'm thinking that would be pretty cool. Take walks every day. It's healthy and fun. Absolutely. Yeah, walking is great. I'm actually doing my friend that I run a 5K with a couple times a year is actually doing a class in school that's a 5K class, and so I have to get myself into better shape, and so I'm doing running training myself about 4 or 5 times a week. I'll be doing some intense running, so it's kind of exciting. Assistant 76 had a campaign to making fun of companies that oppose the open source community. That's cool. I like it. 4 days a week, my wife and I, when my wife and I allow the work shifts allow. Yep, cool. All right, folks. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm going to go out and bake me some chicken. So have yourself a wonderful day, folks. And let's see, next live stream. I don't know. I'll have to double check the various things that I do. Leave me some suggestions in the comments. What do you think about when do you think a good time to be for tinfoil hat times? Maybe I could do them Saturdays. I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to look around at what the various options are and things so that we get one of those in. But there will likely not be a tinfoil hat time this Sunday. But we'll see what else I come up with for a video for that instead. So thanks for watching, folks. And let me go ahead and end this by making the kitty really happy. Ooh. Ooh, smell good? Smell good? Mm-hmm. Aww, you're so cute. You're so cute. Thanks for watching, folks. Have yourself a wonderful evening.